David Ayensu is an award-winning international teacher, author, and 2025 America's Favourite Teacher Award contestant. And David is on the line with us here just now. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm excellent, thanks. Now, what was it that originally inspired you to become a teacher?
Yes, every is said that every student needs a champion in their
Mm,
lives. And it always starts from a teacher being the champion of the students. And
yeah.
so I think that I was privileged to have that champion in my life in the person of my grade four teacher who inspired me with science teaching. He always taught science with dexterity and passion. And
Mm,
so I had that thing inside me that, hey, this is what I wanted to do. My mother also was my primary inspiration because
mm,
she was a teacher. She actually came from a family line of teachers. And so I think that naturally I also picked up that passion along the way. So that is the reason I am in education.
yeah. And how what was your journey like, from originally wanting to become a teacher to actually, becoming one?
Yes, I actually told my mother that even though I wanted to become a teacher, I think that I want to advance. I want to be a better version of what Ghanaians call teachers. And
Yeah,
so I told her that I want to be an international teacher. And so there's something added to just a normal word teacher by
yeah,
being an international teacher. And so I had to be doing a lot of reading, extensive research on how to actually leave the shores of Ghana to fulfill the dream and the aspiration that I had. So I think that I got into the United States in the year 2021.
yeah,
Um, yeah, after I had done extensive teaching in Ghana, I realized that I had actually paid my dues. There was nothing for or being a motivation for me in Ghana. And so I decided to
mm,
actually challenge myself to be in the United States. The United States
yeah,
has that diversity. I needed that diverse backgrounds in the classroom to challenge myself of being that international teacher I wanted to be like.
yeah. And how has being in the United States affected you? I mean, has it maybe made you a better teacher or just maybe given you different experiences?
Yes, if you compare a teacher in Ghana to a teacher in the United States, I think that the major difference will be managing behaviors,
Yeah,
managing classrooms. We are always comfortable with, especially when I say we in Ghana are always comfortable with the behaviors of the student because we don't actually have that challenging behaviors in Ghana. And
yeah,
so we think that we are doing the job, but you actually see the reality when you enter the United States because you have different sort of behaviors to contend with every day. Every day meet you with different challenges in the class. And I think that that is the number one challenge, if I should say, in the United States for international teachers.
yeah. And back in Africa, you've got like a keen interest in the sort of education policy making there. So, what are some of the biggest challenges facing African education today, do you think?
Yes, I think that the major challenge is the appropriate or the right curriculum. I
Mm,
think that we are copying and following most of the international curricula that is not actually designed or tailored to suit the culture of Africa.
mm,
Most of these curricula are actually designed to suit the culture where they come from. If you look at the IB is making students internationally minded. It's actually designed for international students or
yeah,
people who are outside the shores of Ghana. If you look at the Cambridge, it's also quite the same. And so I think that we need policymakers, we need that kind of tailored made curriculum that will be suited for the culture of Africa.
yeah. And do you think international teachers like yourself can have a role in shaping global education perspectives?
Yes, education policy making should not be done with the absence of international teachers. I think that
Mm,
we have seen most of their, or we have had most of the experiences here. I think that we should also be added to policy making
yeah,
to make change.
absolutely. Now, in your own career, you've won already the Teacher of the Year at Lancaster High School and District Teacher of the Year in 2023. So, why do you think you won those awards? What is it that sets you apart from other teachers?
I think that I will mention relationships,
Mm,
relationships, relationships, relationships. I think that to be successful as an international teacher, you can not be successful without building a strong relationship with your students.
yeah,
It sets the foundation. To be able to teach them, to be able to reach the hearts of the students, you start from the building relationship, building that excellent rapport with the students and their parents. I have I have actually extended my greeting to the parents of my students, even without me knowing them.
mm,
Sometimes I ask them to extend my regards to their parents for them, and they're like, how you don't even know our parents.
yeah,
So they do that. They go home and they tell their parents that, hey, I said hi to them.
yeah,
And it sets the tone. So now they know that I know their parents. So if they go wrong in the classroom, I can actually tell them that, hey, I'm going to have a word with your parent. And that respect is there. That building of that rapport and the relationship also plays a key role. So my success actually stems from the fact that I have been able to have lasting relationships with my students.
yeah. And you're currently in the running for America's Favourite Teacher Award 2025. So, what does that mean to you?
It's a dream come true. I think that I am living the dream. I
Yeah.
never envisaged, even though I wanted to become an international teacher, I never envisaged myself sweeping awards left to right and center.
Yeah.
I think that is an icing on the cake for the hard work that I have put in along the years. I
Yeah.
think that winning this award will go a long way to making a statement to the people of Africa and especially my home country, Ghana, that hey, you can achieve anything that you want to do if you set your eyes to it.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any particularly memorable moments from your teacher journey?
I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them, but I think that one memorable moment that I can actually talk to is the moment I actually was standing in front of my classroom. You know, in America, you have to stand in front of a door and greet your students while they walk in.
Mm,
So there was this student who I had actually taught in previous years. So they were walking down the hallway while I stood in front of my door. And
mm.
she actually walked up to me and whispered into my ear and told me, "Hey, you know what? You are the reason I am in school today." So
Wow.
I think that, yeah, I think that I was really happy and fulfilled knowing that I am making an impact in the life of students. So I think that that statement has been ringing into my ear. Anytime I step foot into the classroom, I remind myself that, hey, I am the reason somebody is in class today.
Absolutely. Now, you're an author as well. So, what kind of books do you write, and are they sort of connected to being an educator?
Yes, the books I write, absolutely, are actually linked to me being an
Mm,
educator. I actually wanted to give back to the people of Ghana.
mm,
I am a proud Ghanaian,
yeah.
and so I realized that most of the Ghanaian teachers lack certain um, tenets and basic skills in the classroom. And so when I got here, I got my experiences. I realized that I had to actually put all these experiences into a book and give back to the people of Ghana. So my first book was The Teacher in You, How to Become a 21st Century Teacher.
Mm,
And I wrote it purposely for the people of Ghana. Going forward, I realized that sometimes to be able to manage certain behaviors, one needs courage in the classroom.
yeah.
Also, for the fact that teachers are vulnerable and our vulnerabilities are not even talked about. And
Mm,
so I released my other book called I Wish You Courage for to actually inspire teachers who lack that courage and who are also vulnerable in their emotions and stuff like that in the classroom to be inspired by that.
Yeah. And you mentioned, right at the start that you got into teaching because of a teacher who had inspired you. So, do you try, I guess deliberately or not, have you inspired, some of your own students to become teachers or maybe try to?
Yes, I have been receiving text messages sometimes on WhatsApp, and yeah, and then I get maybe an unknown number. We start chatting, and then the person is like my old student or my past student. So,
Yeah.
as teachers, we always want to find out what our students are doing. So I ask,
Yeah.
what are you doing now? And the person will tell you, I am teaching now. So I think that indirectly, subtly, we have not even I, but as teachers, we are inspiring the next generation of teachers. There was, I think this morning I watched a video in Ghana about a journalist asking a group of pupils, students, what they want to become in future. And
Mm,
most of them didn't want to become teachers. And I think that is the challenge I have to also give myself right now to inspire the next generation of teachers. There should be students in the classroom who want to be teachers because of the inspiration the teachers are giving them.
yeah.
And I am blessed to be that kind of teacher that people look up to. And sometimes my own child, my first child, told me that he wants to become a teacher, even though I didn't want him to. So,
Mm.
yeah, so I think that it is an inspiration that I'm giving others.
Yeah. And what are your future education plans, both in teaching and authoring and beyond?
Yes, that's a good question. For authoring, I am still putting together, I think, a couple of books. They are in the pipeline, as people will always say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but for my long-term ambitions, I think that I want to be up there in policy making, especially making the education policies for Ghana and Africa as a whole. I want to be that name, the go-to name, like a consultant, somebody
Mm,
that will make sure that the education system in Ghana is put on the right track.
yeah.
Now there has been policy changes in Ghana. Every government tries to change the education policy to suit their goals. I think that going forward, education policies should be in the continuum, irrespective of whichever government comes into power. So I think that that is part of their long-term goals that I want to actually achieve to be that change maker and a policy maker in education.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to find all your books and keep up to date with you? And of course, support your run for the America's Favorite Teacher Award if we can.
Yes, let me start off with the books.
Yeah.
My book is on Amazon, it's on Lulu. You just type the name of the author. So you just type my name, David Ayensu, and all the books that I have published on there will just show up. And to support the goal of becoming America's favorite teacher, you just log online to www.americansfavoriteteacher.org / David Ayensu, and then it takes you directly to my profile and you cast your vote. There is a free vote every 24 hours per
Mm,
person. If you want to donate votes, there are also donated votes, $10, $20, and more.
brilliant. Well, many thanks for joining us today. It's been great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.